Hello, everyone, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Top 10. I am John Roca.
And I am Matt Nost, and we're here to do another show for you guys this week, based on the new Kenneth Branagh movie called
Yes,
something or other.
Belfast.
Okay, is that all it is? Just straight Belfast?
Yeah, I saw it a couple of days ago. Really loved it. It's only an hour and 36 minutes. It's a quick watch.
Nice.
It's almost all in black and white, but it's and it's Irish. So if you have a problem understanding Irish people, this movie might be a test for you and your ears, but a very sweet story. So when they allow me to drop the review, I'll be dropping the review. But I enjoyed it very much.
When does that
When does
drop?
It come out? When does
It comes out next weekend, or
there you
this
go.
weekend when people are hearing it.
Oh, right. Good point.
So I'd assume you're dropping that sometime next week.
Probably. I recorded it today just to have it in the offer, so to speak. But yeah, it doesn't say for me. It sometimes they've stopped sending sometimes, like when these embargoes are set up. So it's weird. You have to kind of ask them when the embargo is now. So it's something that I'm learning about the situation.
Yeah,
But
you
they
think
are
they just
showing
put
it
that
all
in the
over the place.
release.
Yeah, you would think.
It's a good sign though if they send it out to reviewers early.
Mm-hmm.
A, they want to get the word out, but B, they're not fearful of, oh, we made a shit movie.
Right. No. It got the audience award at TIFF. So
okay.
that's a positive for the film itself. Overall. But yeah, I don't have any kind of idea of when this thing is allowed to be put up. So,
well, I mean, this obviously comes out on Tuesday, so look for it on the Outlaw Nation's channel. I'm sure it's
yes,
dropping over there. Well,
yes,
if people want to have any interest in seeing it, you can go see someone that's already laid eyes on it and get their take.
Absolutely, yeah. I need to do better about that though on my own end. So whatever. But yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you.
No problem. I mean, personally, I go to Jeremy's channel for these types of things, or Dan, or just like
how dare you? How dare you?
I don't even know. Does he? I'm assuming he does these as well.
Dan? Oh yeah, absolutely, sure.
Yeah,
he's got like almost 100,000 subscribers. That guy on his YouTube channel. So shout out.
Unsurprising.
To him. Yeah.
Although I was going to make a stupid joke that we should move on from.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with Dan. It's a former partner of his.
Oh.
That and it's just like, you know what? There's no point.
Yeah. Probably best.
Yeah, it's probably best. And we will just move on.
But
let me say, take the high road.
Let me say, I feel you. Let me just say, I feel you. Let me just say. Well, Matt knows
96 minutes. That's pretty nice.
It is, and it's it's just a how can I say this? It doesn't pull any punches, and certainly takes place during the Troubles, the Protestants versus Catholics in Northern Ireland and Belfast.
No, it's an Irish movie, so
yeah, it's all over. But like, it's got the how you exist in a world like this, right? It's not just all doom and gloom. You've got to function and exist, and so a lot of that is explored.
Where are the potato famine movies? Oh my God. Well, I'm just saying, there's a
I
lot
thought
of
we said
strife.
You were taking the high road.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's a huge event in Irish history. How has there not been a movie about the potato famine that I know of? I mean, unless you want to say Angela's Ashes.
I guess.
Yeah, but I never saw the movie. I read the book.
Is Black 47 about the potato famine? It's set during the Great Famine.
Technically, it is set there, but it's
okay.
It's more so about, guy coming back from an Irishman coming back from having served with the British to see that the British have basically kept the Irish people under their boot, and him getting revenge. So yes, there's because I think it's Jim Broadbent plays it in essence a governor or something. And he's taking all the food out of the area to ship to somewhere else, and there's starving people at his gates. So the potato famine is a part of, but it's not really about the day-to-day strife of the individuals. It's a revenge film.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. Looking it up right now, there is an article here from The Economist from October 14th of 2021, there is a film coming out called Arracht, Arracht. And maybe it's pronounced differently in the Irish language. You never know with the spellings and all of that.
Yeah.
But it takes place between 1845 and 1855, which is the Great Potato Famine, when the island's population fell by a third after 1 million people died of starvation and disease. And twice as many were forced to emigrate. It ruined the potato crop, which smallholders were dependent on for survival. So there you go. So there is a movie coming out about the Great Potato Famine.
Well, hopefully it's good. What are the odds we bring up potato famine? And there's an article from 2 weeks ago saying there's a potato famine movie coming.
Clearly they heard you.
Can we do this without? Where's a good Dust Bowl film?
Well, there's already been a Dust Bowl film.
I know, but I was trying to think of another major calamitous event not too long.
Have there been many stock market movies, like the crash of the stock market? I can't recall any. I mean, Hudsucker Proxy, but that's a joke of a movie, right? A joking movie.
Specifically, no, once again, it's like you got Cinderella Man, but that's the aftermath of.
Yes, you have to, right. It's not really about.
Yeah, The Great Gatsby, but that's the Roaring '20s leading into the stock market crash. I'm trying to think.
Yeah. I mean, The Big Short, but that's about the current one that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of one.
Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street's not about that. Rogue Trader's not. Margin Call, Boiler Room, Inside Job.
No, I mean, those are all basically new movies.
Yeah, yeah. None of those are about.
I think maybe it's because if you're going to go back to that era, you have World War I leading into the Roaring '20s.
Yeah.
And then the Great Depression, the aftermath of, was it Black Monday?
Oh, yeah, Black Monday. Yeah, the next day.
And then followed by World War II. So it's just like, well, we go back to that era for these other stories and not for specifically.
Yeah.
And perhaps you can't find sympathy within a bunch of people that got aggressive in their speculation. Let's say that.
Right. Yeah. Well, Seabiscuit is set around the time of the crash, but again, not about the crash specifically.
Yeah, but isn't that set in the Great Depression, which is why Seabiscuit became such a cultural figure?
Right.
Yeah. So everybody's down on their luck, and then here comes this underdog horse. Back when horses were national celebrities.
Yeah, it's weird. It's so weird to think about that now because, like, both of us existed at a time when horses were celebrities, and then it just kind of stopped in the 90s or early 2000s sometime.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
I mean, horse racing used to be a much bigger deal nationally. My parents still, and a lot of my family still watch, the big three.
The Preakness.
Yeah, Preakness, Churchill Downs, and Kentucky Derby.
Right.
And I've been to a bunch of horse races.
Oh, really? I've never been to a horse race. What's that?
You never went down to Delmar?
No. And there's one like right here, 20 minutes away from us as well.
So. Delmar.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
It's honestly in the discussion of the nicest track I've ever been to.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Maybe we'll try it out then as a kind of an experience. Because I never went to Santa Ana or anything like that.
Yeah, Santa Ana just looks weird.
Or Hollywood Park. I never went to any of that one either. But
no, both of those seem sketchy. I've been to a bunch. I lived in Kentucky for a couple of years.
Yeah,
so used to go to this place called Keeneland pretty regularly.
Okay.
And but yeah, no, I've been to a lot of horse. I bet on horses. I've actually, I think over the course of it, I've probably made money, but it's blind luck.
Yeah.
It's blind. It has, you're reading the thing and you're like, I don't know. I like the jockey's name.
Yeah.
It's some people are like, it's a gray horse. I bet on gray horses. It's blind luck. That I just have like one bet hit and it pays out enough to where basically I'm playing for free that day.
Yeah.
Because I don't bet a whole ton. It's fun, it's exciting, but it's not like I'm there to make my fucking mortgage or something.
Yeah, good point.
But yeah, Delmar, I think just don't go on opening day would be my suggestion.
Oh yeah. It's too much.
That opening weekend is beyond crazy.
Yeah, I remember at Comic-Con we would sometimes be on the train when those people would get on the train to go to the opening because it's right around the same time in July. And those people would be like all dressed up to the nines, the ladies with the hats and the dresses and all of that, riding the train to Del Mar. So it was always weird to me to see that. But yeah, people do it up. People do it up at these tracks, man.
Yeah, I
so
wanted to get used to bartend down there, and I wanted to get an end to bartend that opening weekend because you just made ridiculous money.
I bet.
Because everybody's throwing it around and they're just excited to get a drink because it's 20 people deep at every bar. And yeah. But that was a very much locals. The one person I knew that had jobs was trying to get me a job. She had been in San Diego for 20 something years at that point.
Wow.
And had the job for 10 years. And it was definitely they bring their friends in to work this weekend.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. So she tried. But she also told me, it's like, the chances are slim. It's like, nah, I'll take the chance. It didn't happen. But at the same time, it's like, it's very rare, especially for a guy to get in there too.
Oh, really? Is it a lot of women doing the bartending?
Well, I just think if they have their choice and I have the same experience as an attractive woman, the attractive woman is going to win out.
That's probably
more often than not. And like almost any attractive woman that I knew that was a bartender in San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
Bartended at 2 to 3 different bars. And would get recruited to bartend at other bars, and they just didn't have the time. Whereas it was an uphill slog for me to try and find more work. Look, it's just the nature of it. I wasn't resentful. You just gotta, yeah. I mean, Catherine used to bartend, and it was a completely different experience of her reality and mine. Like guys used to come in because she worked the day shift at this one bar,
right?
And they'd wash her car while she was at work.
What?
Yeah, to come in and be like, "Hey, is your car dirty? I saw it out front." You know what? They live in the neighborhood. I'm just going to go grab a bucket and some water. I'll wash that for you. And you're like,
yeah,
hey,
wow.
What is this? What is this? I don't have this. Nobody's offered to do a fucking thing for me. And she's like, is that weird? You're like, yeah, that's not.
That's definitely weird.
It took until years later she understood you got treated differently. You do realize that, right? There's nothing wrong with it. I just want you to be aware of the fact of I had and every other guy had a completely different experience.
Yeah.
There's only one bartender guy that he worked in La Jolla, and he should have been a model. But it's one of those things of he was also one of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
See, I always liked the guy. We got along great. And I didn't even drink. I just finished at the store, and then I go over, and that was one of the after bars we'd go to hang out.
Yeah.
So I just ended up shooting the shit because he was sober too, and everybody else was getting wasted. And he got the same treatment as the girls did. But he's the only one I ever met.
He's living in the bubble.
Exactly. The reality that the rest of us can't even touch. Like, man. But super nice guy. You couldn't hate him. He was genuinely such a nice guy.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah. How can you not be? It's like when people, oh, he's a gentle giant. It's like, yeah, because he could destroy the world. So the world's always been nice to them. So of course they're nice. You know, it's a different experience for him than it is the rest of us.
That's brilliant, man.
It is. I knew a guy's. He if you ever saw any kind of biker role in commercials and TV and whatnot, it was him or like 2 or 3 other guys that got it by and large.
Wow.
Such a nice guy, but 6'8", 325 pounds. Oof. It's just the walking brick of a man.
Right.
With, terrible knees and hips and just carrying around that much load for all these years, but incredibly nice. And you're like, yeah, because no one has ever fucked with you.
Right.
Like it's never happened.
Right. It's nice when no one fucks with you.
Yeah. It's not a bad place to exist in.
No, you're right about that. Well, just real quick, there is one film about the stock market crash. It came out in 1932. It was called The Crash. And it starred Ruth Chatterton as a luxury-loving wife devastated by the Wall Street crash of 1929. And it was less than an hour long, a 58-minute film. Damn, back in the old days, they could do that. All right, so that's the only film, Matt, I've ever found about the crash.
Exactly. There's no real dialogue. All the dialogue is title cards. So they don't have to worry.
I don't think so. 1932? You think it's silent film?
I think it's right on the cusp. When is I mean, I know that there are talkies before then, but how prevalent are talkies at that point?
I don't know. You know what? Let's see if there's a
Is it a
trailer for
silent film?
this. I don't know. Let's see if there's a trailer for this. 32.
Fall the Cry. There's not going to be. They didn't. Did they make trailers for movies in 1932?
I don't know, but I've seen
I
trailers
don't
for
think
movies
so. I
from
think
the
they just put
30s.
up posters and said, "Come see the crash." Rich debutante. I can remember.
Holy shit, it's available to buy or rent on YouTube. No bullshit.
That seems like that should be a free with ads type of situation. How many people are buying the crash? Who owns the rights? And they're like, yeah, this is my retirement right here. The Crash.
I love that it's mixed in with Crash, The Crashing, and all these other things. And there's not even a clip. There's not even a clip available for you to watch, which is really funny. So crazy.
But you can't find out if it's a talkie or not.
I don't see anything. I don't. Let's see if there's a Wikipedia for this film. Let's see. Talkie. Let's see. 1932.
The Crash is a 1928 American silent drama film. Is it the one by Edward F. Klein?
No, this one's directed by William Dieterle. This is a pre-code drama. So this seems like it's not silent.
Okay. Well, one from 1928 with the same title is a silent film.
Okay. All right. Well, can you watch this on you probably watch this on TCM, I would imagine.
All right. So The Crash, 1930. Ruth Chatterton.
Yes. George Brent. Well, you know Brent.
I mean, it doesn't say that it's silent film. You would think they'd put that in there. So I guess it is a talkie.
Right. This George Brent guy, by the way, from Ireland. What a way to bring it all the way back here, man. He's from County Galway, Main Street, Ballinasloe, County Galway. That's when he was born in 1904. And then came over here to become an actor. Actually married Ruth Chatterton for a couple of years from that movie, 1930. He was married 5 fucking times, this guy.
Yeah.
Wow, George Brent. Shout out to you, buddy boy. Died in Solano Beach, California in 1979 of 75 years old. Well.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. I don't know any films that I've seen him. I'm looking through his resume. I don't know this guy. Anyway. All right. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. Some old-time actor from the 30s. We're here to talk about the top 10 films with narration in it. Because there's a little bit of narration in the movie. And certainly we wanted to talk about the top 10 films here with narration. And this was a lot, Matt. I have like 20 to 30 titles here to play around with.
It got overwhelming and I actually stopped.
Really? Stopped making...
I just stopped adding. I was like, yeah, this one counts. And I guess technically this one counts. And then this one definitely counts. And this one is good. And then, oh, fuck that. It got to... So I hope you have some gems that I didn't think about.
Well, I have some probably in my... what do you call it? Honorable mentions, but I went pretty standard on the top 10. So
okay.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I tried to float around a little bit. And I also tried to if the voiceover was or the narration was something was one of the first things I thought about of the movie too.
Yeah, good point. Yes.
Since we're trying to, but there's so many different films that qualify. If someone has a completely different top 10, I would be fully understanding.
Of course. And there are so many that run the gamut for sure.
Yeah. But that's in honor of the new Kenneth Branagh movie. So
yeah.
Go see it. Look for the review that John put out. Hopefully it piques your interest and you go and see a movie.
Yeah.
Directed by Kenneth Branagh.
Right.
So once we set a topic, we go our individual ways and create personal top 10 lists. Show back up here. I do my bottom 3. He does his bottom 3. I do my next 2. He does his next 2. Then we trade one apiece. Once we have revealed our personal top 10 list, we create the shows between the two of us.
Boom.
All right. So once again, all things are on the table. At 10, I chose this one because it's one of the more unique uses of narration, which is Stranger Than Fiction.
Oh, nice choice. Yes. Love that film. Go ahead, my man.
It's not often where the main character is interacting with the narrator.
Yes.
As they are narrating the action of said main character. And as Will Farrell feels like he's losing his mind. He goes to talk to Dustin Hoffman to try and sort out
Yeah.
what's going on in this weird chicken or egg situation. Is he living his life or is it being dictated to him type of thing? But
Yeah.
the use of the narration, I think, made it so singular that it stuck out like a sore thumb in the list of 30, 35, whatever it is, films that I started to write out. And I chose it for that reason. I think it's really good, and it's a departure into a serious role
Mhm.
that Farrell doesn't do. He does it every once and again, you know?
Yeah.
It's like this and Everything Must Go.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a couple others that I think are really good.
I kind of like him when he does those roles, to be honest with you. There's more humanity in him when he does those roles. I really like Stranger Than Fiction. That's one of my favorites from him.
Yeah, and the weird thing is it wasn't well received when it came out.
I know.
And I think still the reviews are kind of lukewarm on it, and I thought it was much better than that.
Same thing with Everything Must Go. I thought that was a really delightful film to watch. And
Yeah.
I think he did a great job with it, navigating all the things he's going through in that movie.
Oh, it's just a smaller film.
Mhm.
And I do like when comedic actors take their hand at or try their hand at drama.
Yeah.
Because some, like Melissa McCarthy, I think is really successful at
Oh
it.
my God, yes.
Yeah.
I got to see that new one that she released that is her going with her and Chris O'Dowd, another comedian, kind of dealing with the death of their child.
Oh,
And-
yeah. The reviews on that are mixed.
Yeah, I know. Well, pretty much all her films now are pretty much mixed, dude. She hasn't had a good one in quite some time. Says, "Oh well, Can You Ever Forgive Me?" I guess
Can You
was
Ever
the
Forgive
last-
Me?
Right, last really good one where everyone universally got behind it. But
Yeah.
this one feels a little more.
Although I think she got outshone by what's his name?
Oh yeah, Richard E. Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, his part was flashier.
Exactly. That's how
So-
it goes.
Exactly. But I mean, between that and St. Vincent, it's like, this is, I
All right.
love you in these.
Yeah.
And the comedies that you do the most of are not my cup of tea, but to each their own. I mean, comedy is so very specifically subjective.
It is. And even within the comedies, even the bad ones that I've seen, she has her moments of real pathos with these characters. She's
Yeah.
an accomplished actress. She's actually a damn good actress. So even in crappy comedies, she can find the moments of genuine emotion to play and you believe it, you know?
Mhm.
So yeah, I know that 9 Total Strangers that's out on Hulu now, or 9 Perfect Strangers, whatever it is. I'm tempted to watch it. I'm tempted. I haven't seen the best reviews for it, but I'm tempted because of her and a couple of the other actors that are involved in the project. So we shall see. But
It's 9 Perfect Strangers. So it's just
is that what it is?
Balkies.
9 Perfect. Yeah.
No, that's when you said 9 Perfect, just Balkies from all the different countries coming together. Cousin. Good old Bronson Pinchot.
I like it. Yeah, him and Mark Lynn Baker. Yeah, that name's still in my head. How the fuck is that name still in my head?
Yeah, probably because you were younger when you learned it.
Yeah, my favorite year was the first thing I saw him in, the one with Peter O'Toole, and then I
Oh,
saw
wow.
Perfect Strangers. Yeah,
Nah, I saw Perfect Strangers long before I saw anything else. And then to find out years later that he had tremendous amount of heat
yeah,
going into Perfect Strangers. And like, this is a guy,
people liked him.
which is crazy to me because I just knew him as cousin. That's I knew Perfect Strangers. That was it. And then Bronson that went into Beverly Hills Cop and all that.
Oh,
So he had more of a career to me.
yeah.
But anyway,
But I like when he shows up and stuff. Mark Lynn Baker. He plays a great villain. He was in a couple of Law and Orders where he plays like the person who did the crime, and he's just so great at being smarmy and kind of cocky and whatever. So it's always fun to see him pop up and shit like that.
anyway, we should move on. That
Yeah, sure.
Stranger Than Fiction. Check it out.
There you go. Check it out. All right. What's your? By the way, Perfect
9.
Strangers ran for 7 years, bro. That's incredible. All right.
Seems about
so
right.
What's your 9?
My 9 is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
That's my 8. Are you kidding me? Such a good
It's-
movie.
It is good.
Yeah.
And it opens with Downey Jr.
Oh my God.
almost breaking. Well, it is breaking the fourth wall as a narrator,
Totally breaking the fourth wall as a narrator.
not describing the action, but also directly addressing the audience. Basically saying like, "Oh, you don't like me? Well, you're kind of stuck with me."
Yeah.
But But
And this is pre Iron Man Robert Downey Jr. So this is Robert Downey Jr. before anyone
yeah.
knew what was going to happen, and he's got that kind of cocky confidence in the narration. So
it's Downey Jr. post rehab jail stint
yes,
when he doesn't have the same momentum that he had leading into that, and it's Val Kilmer
yes,
after he's taken a flamethrower to every bridge he created in Hollywood.
true.
And then Bridget Moynihan kind of on the way up.
Not Bridget Moynihan, Michelle Monaghan.
Michelle Monaghan.
Right.
Sorry, it's
No worries.
Moyna Swimmy Swami. And then Shane Black writing, directing, all that. So it's this kind of perfect storm of a number of very talented individuals coming together, and just because of all kinds of different circumstances, whether it be, with the Downey and Val Kilmer, where they're, need to get solid footing again, and the others on the come up.
Yeah.
You could get this confluence of talented people together to make a genuinely entertaining and engaging film. But the narration it's fun. It's a fun use of narration.
I agree, because it goes into so many different places, and he's able to the narration is so essential to the movie, I think, because it keeps you kind of grounded in what this guy's story is.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels as if he's narrating as he's going along. So in essence, he's kind of live tweeting in live time all the things he's experiencing. He's not even telling this as a once upon a time story. It's all happening as he's narrating. And I think there's even a moment where the narration stops because something happens and he gets surprised in the narration. And so I think that's the brilliance of the narration in the movie, is it feels like it's happening at the same time as you're watching what's going on the screen. So, yeah. But great stuff. Yeah. Corbin Burnson, Shannon Sassamon. And I can't remember the dude that's in fucking Romeo and Juliet in that film. And shit, I had his name and lost it. He's in Ray Donovan.
Well, let's see. Whatever that casting director is, Larry. Why am I blanking on Larry Miller?
Are you making? Yes, Larry Miller. He's great.
Yeah.
Oh,
trying to think who else is in it.
It's a great part of Unnecessary Roughness, Larry Miller.
Well, you got to have him. He's the villain.
He is. You're right. Dash Mihawk. That's the guy's name. Mr. Frying Pan.
Oh, of course. Everybody knows Dash Mihawk.
Oh, wow. Ariel Winter plays the young girl, plays Harmony Faith Lane at age 7. So the Michelle Monaghan character in the magic show.
They're doing the chainsaw, and she starts screaming, and then, Daddy, I want to be an actress. And then he goes to backhand her, and they cut and move the scene along. Yeah, but that was child rearing.
Interesting. Yeah, back then. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that's your number 8.
That was my 9.
Oh, that's your 9. Sorry. What's your 8?
My 8 is The Assassination of Jesse James.
Yeah, that is a punt. That is a
punt.
Yeah, it's a little bit hot because that is one of the most incredible narrations ever in the history of mankind.
All right.
All right.
What do you got at 10 then?
Gone Girl.
Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, listening to her narrate the story, and when you're initially on her side and she's narrating what's happening, you're like, oh wow, this is really a situation that she got suckered into, and blah blah blah. And then when shit changes, you're like, oh my god, I completely got screwed here into believing this person's point of view and perspective. And this now has become a real life horror movie. No creatures, no fucking shit under the beds. Just a person who is determined to manipulate and strategize a man into a corner and makes all the right moves to essentially castrate him and turn him into a slave within his own life. And it's brilliant.
Coming out kind of like that now too.
Does he? Ben Affleck does? Okay.
Yeah.
The Tender Bar or something like that. Is that the new one?
I can look it up real quick while you, if you want to continue talking about.
Yeah. But she's great. I mean, Rosamund Pike, not a lot of people knew Rosamund Pike. I mean, you'd seen her in the Bond film, and was it Die Another Day, and then a couple other films and whatever. But when she came along with this one, it was incredible. So Fincher trusting her with the narration, trusting her to bring the power of the story to life, I think was great. And she's stellar in the movie. That scene where she looks up while she's lying on his chest.
I know. It's called Deep Water.
Oh, Deep Water. Okay.
A well-to-do husband who allows his wife to have affairs in order to avoid a divorce becomes a prime sex suspect in the disappearance of her lovers.
Interesting. Ooh,
It's not quite like Gone Girl, but it's also like it's a weird sexual marriage thing again. Directed by Adrian Lyne.
He hasn't done a movie in 20 years, Matt. Not since Unfaithful. He loves these sex movies.
Yes, he does.
Look at this. Yeah. Unfaithful, Lolita, Indecent Proposal, Fatal Attraction.
You got Dash again.
And what? He's in this?
Dash Mihawk is in this.
What? Anna de Armas. Oh, so this was the film they were doing together when they got together. Oh, interesting. All right.
Oh, are they together? This is how
they were.
Celebrity.
Yeah, they were together for a little bit, and then they broke up. And apparently, the paparazzi caught photographs of someone in a hazmat suit or in a suit that they use to like kind of clear stuff out, bringing out a cardboard cutout of her that he had in his house. And a lot of people speculated that was Casey in disguise bringing out the cardboard cutout to get it out of his house. So it's a crazy little world, Matt. That's all I'm saying.
I can't imagine living under that kind of ridiculous microscope.
Fuck that noise. I mean, I would love the money and the fame. Don't get me wrong. But I would be just like staying at home the whole time because it's too much. It's all too much, the pressure, and watch everything you do. You can't even pick your fucking. I mean, again, they've got video of him picking up Dunkin' Donuts in some sad way from the front of his house.
Of course, you took a million pictures of any person.
Yes.
You can find like that one where he's sitting on his front stoop smoking.
Yeah.
And he just kind of looks exhausted. Who hasn't done that? But then he becomes a meme.
Which is shitty because you're right, because all those people making fun of him have sat out on
so many of
porches.
those. Yes. And the fact of the matter is that could have been one fraction of a second, and the rest of the time he was smiling and in a good mood. You just happened to catch him when he was really enjoying the exhale of that cigarette, but it looks painful. I don't know, but to live under that kind of microscope.
Yeah, or that meme where he's talking about what Batman v Superman, and they kind of pan in on him, like turning to his left and looking sad. He could have been thinking about some with his kids, a fight he had with his ex with Jennifer Garner, or dealing with some memory of his drunken exploits that triggered something like this. It's just a human moment, but people are going to turn it into something where, oh, look at this sad motherfucker here. It's like, bitch, you're not even come close to accomplishing what he accomplished in his career, and you're going to judge him.
I think, you ever seen that video of DiCaprio acting like a paparazzi running up to Jonah Hill, and Jonah Hill doesn't know it's DiCaprio?
Yeah.
And it's in some like vacation area on the East Coast, like Martha's Vineyard or something. Yeah. And Jonah Hill first is like, what the fuck? And just starts backing up, backpedaling, going, what the fuck is going? And then realizes it's DiCaprio, and like the relief that washes over him.
Yeah.
And Jonah Hill only gets a slight fraction of what Leonardo DiCaprio has had to put up with.
Yeah.
And that's his reaction to, although anybody that gets bum rushed like that.
True. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It just, I don't envy that in the slightest.
I think that's when the Schmodown will cross the line, is when paparazzi shows up.
Well, you're not going to have to deal with that in the not too distant future.
I know you don't believe me, but I'm not going to have to deal with it.
Okay, Trump, I believe you. It's fine. It's fine.
You know what? Never said retire. Never said retire.
Exactly.
Wait, we have you on video.
Words change.
Fake news. Anyway.
So when do you want to announce the Schmo Up, our competing? Comes out. We're starting in February, guys. It's going to be for the real movie trivia fans.
No C in the Schmo, and we're going up, son.
Yeah, going up. Only on the up and up. It's for the best of the best.
I'm going to bring Snyder out of retirement, Rachel Cushing,
Yeah, it's
Sam
all
Levine.
happening.
We're lighting it up right now.
Yep.
Oh man.
And instead of having a commissioner, we're going to have the commission, just like the mafia
Oh.
back in the day. It's going to be the heads of the various families. And we all
Family.
sit down and do this. Yep.
If something was to happen to Sam Levine, I might blame some of the people in this room.
Exactly. Can't touch him.
Can't
You
touch
can't touch him.
him, please. Should he kill him?
We got to
Should he
trace
find-
the lineage of your mom back to Schmissely.
Oh, especially, yeah.
Yeah, she's got to be from there to know that.
He's a Schmissilian. It was amongst the Schmissilians. It was
Exactly.
it's a Schmissilian thing. Oh Lord, terrible. All right, let's move on. My number 9 is The Big Lebowski, which is probably a punt. So.
The narration isn't as big as other movies, so I kept it off my list.
Okay, that's fair. I like it because it's unusual, and
Sure.
Sam Elliott has one of the greatest voices in the history of time. And so I like the way and that he appears in the film as well, which I think is brilliant. So there's a Western kind of narration to it.
Mhm.
It really sets the mood for the movie. And then when he pops in to have that weird interaction with the dude, it's just odd because the narrator rarely pops in, and especially in present time, because he's narrating like it's in the past, but then he appears in present time and then does that narration at the end. So to me, I thought it was unusual enough that I wanted to include it on our list, or at least on my list at number 9. And just Sam Elliott is so good. So
he is so good. But that was one of the things of the narration is not. Well, that's not true though, because I do like that. When Lebowski's going through the grocery store at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And Sam Elliott is doing the. I still think Los Angeles.
Los Angeles is great.
And there was a dude, and just basically you can hear him settling into, there was a dude.
The tumbling weed. Yeah. So
yeah, it's true. It should have made, once again, there's so many to choose from.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I've got a whole nother 10 to 15 on honorable mentions.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous list.
It's mind-blowing. All right, so then my number 8, we're going back into the 80s, is Raising Arizona.
Which one do we have in common? We had Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, didn't? Okay.
Yeah. Didn't we
Well,
say
that's
that?
a punt.
Wait, I'm sorry. So, sorry. My number 8 was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Sorry about that. I jumped one in my mind. Go ahead. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
So your 7 is Raising Arizona.
My 7 is. Sorry about that. I blew the wad there a little bit.
Still a punt.
Okay.
My 7 is Braveheart.
Oh, knock yourself out. I didn't even think about that one.
You have Robert the Bruce trying to set up like here's the stage of why Longshanks is Longshanks, and why the Scots are rebelling, and what this means, just over and over whenever there's kind of any kind of moment of clarity that you need. Yeah. And here comes Robert the Bruce. And I love it, sticks out for me because you would assume it'd be William Wallace.
Yeah.
Kind of narrating his own life. But to have the narration come in, somebody that eventually takes over as king, but really looks at Wallace as the true leader of Scotland.
Yeah.
And there's at least in regards to how it's portrayed in this film, we already know about the historical inaccuracies. So maybe Robert the Bruce hated William Wallace. I don't know. And I don't care. Plus, it's been so long since Braveheart made a list of any kind. Yeah, on this show.
It's been a bit.
It has been a bit. And I went back and just for shits and giggles, because I haven't watched it in a while, just watched a couple scenes.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Father! Father!
When I can't remember the dude's name.
The voiceover guy?
No. The Irish guy shows up into camp that eventually pulls the dagger on him, but he's talking to God. Because that's great. The only equal to him. It's such good acting. You see him pop up like he was in The Departed and as one of the gangsters, and he's played a bunch of smaller heavy roles like that.
Mm-hmm.
But his introduction, I love that scene. I was just going back and cherry picking some of my favorite scenes in the movie. But the narration is really good. Once again, there's so many to choose from, and we have talked about Braveheart. Hasn't come up on the list, and I was like, fuck it, I'm putting Braveheart on here. Even though you could say that the narration is stronger from other movies, I think it's its quality in this one, so I put it on my list.
That's fair. I like it. It's good. I forgot about it. I guess because I don't think Angus McFadden, like I don't see him as this great actor, so maybe that's why it affected me thinking about that one for this list. But great point, dude. That's a fantastic one. All right, what's your 6?
My 6 is Amadeus.
Ooh, shit! Damn it!
Because
you know what?
Salieri.
I've got my list. I'm not.
That's fine, dude. Once again,
normally I would switch it in, but I got to respect the list this
there's
time.
a million.
There's so many to choose from. Go ahead,
so
brother.
many.
I love that narration. Great point, man.
Yeah, I think of him describing the first time that he sees Mozart, and that is all narration. But he's like, can you spot greatness?
This sniveling little
this exactly his disgust. It has everything. It has his awe and wonder and his curiosity that then flips into jealousy, hatred, disgust, all of it, all in one narration. It gives you such a great encapsulation of who Salieri was.
Yeah.
And I almost didn't put it on my list because Amadeus has made a few lists lately.
That's true. But it's worth it, man.
It's worth it. So good. And we broke into an Amadeus talk after the Topsy-Turvy talk like a few weeks ago.
True.
And
that's true.
Yeah, it's top of the mind. So it's like, am I a broken record at this point? But I don't mind because that record plays a tune that I can listen to.
Yeah, no shit.
So,
and speaking of Topsy-Turvy, real quick, for those of you who are listening, the Barnes & Noble 50% off sale is going on in Criterion. Go pick up Topsy-Turvy. It's $20. Pick it up. Trust me. Trust Matt and I. You will not go wrong with this film. So pick it up. If you've heard us talking about it many times, you thought, well, maybe I'll see it. Go pick it up for $20. It's worth your $20. You'll love it. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I bet you for $15 you can get the digital download of Criterion's Topsy-Turvy.
No, it doesn't exist.
You can get all the different stuff. They don't have a digital download for the Criterion collection.
Man, this is about digital media or about physical media.
Media. Yeah, this is about holding on to stuff. Let it go, guys. Let it go.
Never. But dude, great choice. I can't. My dad right now is looking down on me and just shaking his fucking head because I should have totally put Amadeus. It's our favorite film. Boulder, he loved the narration, quoted it endlessly all the time. My mom does too, every once in a while, still. But yeah, I mean, just the script of that film is exceptional. And the lines they give, and I know it's based on Peter Shaffer's play, but they made some changes for the script, and F. Murray Abraham is incredible delivering those lines. Just incredible, man.
Yeah.
God, what a great choice, dude. I'm mad at myself for not picking that one. Fuck. All right.
What else you got?
So 7, Raising Arizona. Is that a punt?
That is a punt.
Okay, great. 6 is The Princess Bride.
I cut it. Just because I figured maybe you'd have it.
Yeah. Peter Falk, so good doing the narration. That film in no way works without the narration. The feeling that you're not only is he telling this to Fred Savage, he is telling this story to the inner child in all of us, and the way he's delivering the lines, the way he's delivering the action and the adventure. And of course, yes, we do see and hear the actors playing the scenes out, but hearing Peter Falk's voice as he's doing this narration through the different moments of the movie is great. And then getting back to him having the interactions with Fred Savage, which are progressively sweeter as the film goes along. It just does a really good job. I mean, when he talks about the kiss that they have, that is fantastic narration in that moment. Really capturing the emotion of that kiss that they have. So good.
It is so good. And I felt that was one of a couple that I felt the guiltiest about.
About cutting?
About cutting. Yeah. I was like, God, but the narration is so good and it's unique to it.
Agreed.
But you got to make cuts somewhere, I guess.
I agree.
Spread the love around. Have, something like Stranger Than Fiction on the list just as because I'm never going to put Princess Bride at 10.
Right. Deserves a higher ranking.
It does deserve it. I know some people look at it and be like, well, that doesn't make sense. Like, it does in my brain.
You know what? Start your own show, then you can.
Yeah, exactly. If it's going to make a list, it should, and for something like this, it should land in this range.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I
don't know.
That's fair, dude. All right, well, let's take a break here, Matt, before we get into our top 5s and hear from our sponsors and ourselves. talking about certain things that you guys can be a part of. All right, welcome back to the top 10. We are talking or counting down the top 10 films with narration in it. We're entering into our top fives. Matt, kick us off, please. What is number 5 for you?
At 5 is The Punt, Raising Arizona.
Oh, okay. Woo, woo.
Oh,
Take it, man. Take it.
The confidence from the Coens
Yes.
to do something like this, where, because narration is, sometimes it's a crutch of bad storytelling
Yes.
and screenwriting. And in this, it really fleshes out. It gives you such a nice kind of look into who High is and how High views the world and interacts with, and like why he keeps stumbling, especially early on, why he keeps going back to jail and whatnot. And him giving the not really play-by-play, but the mentality and rationale as to why he keeps finding himself in these situations.
Yeah.
It just, from the very early on, sets the tone. And know that this is Coen's second film after Blood Simple.
Yeah, after Blood Simple. Yeah,
is wildly impressive, because Blood Simple looks like a great college art film.
Yeah, it's fantastic noir. That's kind of on the low end in terms of budget. Yeah, great point.
It's very simple location, simple premise, well executed. But you can tell it was done on a very shoestring budget. So to come out and do this, which is kind of I don't want to say a high concept comedy, but it has a very distinct and particular humor and sensibility that you don't see in Blood Simple at all. Blood Simple is nothing like this.
Yeah.
And this becomes, and you would say Miller's Crossing is a kind of a little bit of a blend of both of them.
Yeah, a little bit.
Although slightly more Raising Arizona. But yeah, just the narration, the introduction to all these ridiculous characters that kind of work in the context of the story as a whole.
Yeah, it's so good. I had trouble putting it a little bit lower on the list, but just for my own personal reasons, I did. But I love Nicolas Cage's narration this whole movie, and I think it's essential. Like people talk about Clone Wars being essential to kind of fleshing out Anakin after the prequel trilogy. It's really important. I think the same thing here. Like, this character is a loser. He loves his wife, certainly, but he's a bit of a loser. And hearing his point of view, hearing his perspective on things as he narrates the movie really helps to flesh out his character even more and garner sympathy from the audience for him. Because, as you said, Matt, we get to hear his points of views, his perspectives on the situations as the film goes along, and the genuine sweetness and the genuine love he has for Holly Hunter's character, because he's not that smart, but
no, not in the slightest.
Right, which is why he finds himself in the situations that he finds himself in. But he genuinely loves Holly Hunter, and she genuinely loves him. So that when that final moment happens with the baby and the dad of Nathan Jr. there, that whole interaction, he's like, "Shut up, boy! Ain't nobody gonna call the cops."
Well, I believe that's Nathan, Arizona.
Nathan, Arizona. But Nathan Jr. is who they bring back.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nathan Arizona's, "Oh, shut up, boy. Ain't nobody calling the cops." And then when he says to him, "I don't know much, but I know love, and you two seem to, I'd say you sleep on it before you make any rash decisions." It's such a sweet moment, but it is so earned because of the narration that Nicolas Cage delivers as High throughout the movie.
Yeah, I think it's the world and character building that they've done.
Yeah.
That you side with him, and it's part of the reason I'm still a fan of Nick Cage to this day. He fully 100% commits to this character.
Absolutely
Is more than happy to play the idiot, because that's what this character is.
Yeah, and even lands the plane perfectly, Matt, with that last bit of narration of the dream he's having. He makes fun of the guy telling one too many Polish jokes, and then he says, "I visualize the future where we blah blah blah." And I think I can't remember the last line he says, but
I know what you're talking about, because I can visualize it in my head, but I can't remember off the top.
He says, but maybe it was Utah, I think is what he says, because he was thinking of a place he'd be having all this with the grandkids and everything like that. And he says, "It must be Dream Room Place. Maybe it's Utah." And boom, it's over. And it's great. It's a great landing of the narration. So yeah. Okay. So then my 5 is the punt from earlier, the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
Okay.
man, oh man, this narration. I mean, as a guy who was getting into voiceovers a few years ago in at William Morris and doing all stuff like his, I would play this all the time, the movie, and listen to his narration as he took you from place to place. There was just something about his voice. I'm looking up the guy's name right now because it's been a while since I've thought about the dude's name. It takes you
It's
from
almost
place
like a
to place.
reporter
Yeah,
setting the scene over and over again.
yeah,
Like when he's talking about the fact that he lives in, I think it's Kansas City,
yeah.
and it's like, most people know him as this, this, and this,
Right.
but he has 2 gunshot wounds left partially healed in his torso and one in his thigh. And it's just this, but the calming nature, it's almost like a Garrison Keillor,
Yeah.
but not full into the character of Garrison.
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually a great comparison, Matt. It has that Garrison Keillor kind of it's inside the mouth type of approach.
Yeah, it is.
And then but there's a little more kind of a slightly higher pitch gravelly approach to this. And I remember hearing him on like Buick commercials and IBM commercials. So
Oh,
when
really?
yeah, his name's Hugh Ross. So when I heard him in Assassination, I was like, "Oh, this is interesting because it sounds almost like an A&E documentary,
Yeah.
which you would watch back in the 80s and 90s." And so it's a perfect voice to use here. And he does bring you in the world of the film so believably, mixed with the music, which is done so well, and the scenes that are being shot here by Andrew Dominic. All of it works so well in tandem, but the voiceover is unusual and distinct and memorable. And what's so fucked up is this guy's an editor. He
Really?
edits shows. Yes, he's still editing that Doogie Kamalawa show. He's an editor on that show for 4 of those episodes. So he not only does he do voiceover, he's also on the other side. He's edited 37 episodes of New Girl. So
Okay.
it's just
Well,
crazy.
that's a good job too.
Plus, he's acted on the screen. He's in Age of Adeline as the narrator in Age of Adeline. He was in For Love of the Game as Mike Udall. I don't know who Mike Udall is in the movie.
I haven't seen that in so long. I didn't care for it.
Yeah, I didn't like it either myself.
Yeah, it could be just I wasn't in the mood for it when I saw it, but it just, I don't know, it seemed too sappy and melodramatic.
Yeah.
Not sappy, so to speak, but too melodramatic for me.
You know what's funny? He started out as a extras casting assistant on Major League. That's how far back this guy goes, man.
Got into editing though. That's a good gig.
Good. It's a great gig. If they know you and they like you, it's a great gig. And
Yeah,
you throw in some voiceover stuff, Matt. You're doing all right in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not doing bad.
Yeah. True. All right. What's your 4, brother?
My 4 is Fight Club.
That's my 3. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Oh, just the assessment of the mundanity of his life.
Yeah.
And his overall displeasure of where he's at, that kind of helps ease you into the fact that this isn't, he's not going to stay this.
Yeah.
This is almost like a cocoon phase, and he is basically going to transform into something utterly different. But the cold calculating, I love it when he's going through his apartment and just the numbers that pop up of what everything cost is. He's,
Oh yeah.
methodically talking about, oh, this rug is really going to make it complete, and the emptiness and the shallowness of all of it.
Yeah.
I think it's another encapsulation of that is when they're on the bus later on and they see the advertisement of the guy with a 6-pack or whatever.
Oh
and they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
is that what a real man is supposed to look like? Just there's more this influence of advertising and the ideal that is thrust upon all of us.
Yeah.
That's pretty much unattainable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like whoever was in that picture very well could have been real, but the amount of, chicken breast only diet before they took that photo is unrealistic.
Yeah.
Type of stuff. Anyway.
Yeah. In no way do men have to deal with body issues at the level that women do in the society. But we certainly do have to deal with them at a certain level in our society, because all the women go crazy for fucking Magic Mike and all these dudes. And it's because they all have abs and they're in great, fantastic shape. So there is that pressure a little bit to look that way so that you can get a woman for sure. And certainly in the gay community, knowing many gay friends, there is a big pressure to be in a certain shape to be considered viable as a potential mate,
Well,
so it's insane.
Yeah, I think it's
So-
a to each their own. There are
Exactly.
definitely fans of,
Right.
but then heavyset guys are an ideal for both men and women.
Yeah, I guess dad bods.
There are, dad bods, but like bears in the gay community. That's
Yeah,
a
it's
thing.
true. Bears, true.
So,
yeah.
but I agree with you. I mean, we're shown, hey, having a 6-pack or whatever the case is.
Yeah, like your bartender friend, right? Which you mentioned on the
on the this was this show or last upcoming Thursday Topic Thunder? I can't remember.
Yeah, he mentioned something about a friend of yours who was a bartender who's good looking and got everything because of his looks.
Yeah,
personality too, I'm sure. But
yeah, personality helped, but good looking dude. Well, you get sucked in because he's good looking.
Exactly.
And then you find out he's a really nice guy on top of that. You're like, pretty dreamy.
Pretty dreamy.
Pretty dreamy.
But I mean, but also the narration here, of course, is brilliant in Fight Club because of the twist. And when the twist happens, you're like, holy shit. So
I know I don't want to talk about the twist, but at the same time, it's been 20
for God's sakes.
3 years, 22 years.
Yeah.
And how can you not know? And if you're a lover of film, then you've at least know the twist. But what if you're some young kid that just hasn't gotten around to see it yet? It's a good one. I will say that. Yeah.
It's a twist you don't see coming. And when it happens, you're just like, holy shit. But the voiceover is so good getting it. And of course the lines are great. Bob, that bitch tits. The spirit animal lines, the stuff with Marla, the interactions, describing the interactions he's having with Tyler Durden through the movie. It's all so well laid out, because he's a guy who's clearly suffering from not knowing where the fuck he belongs.
Yeah. And it really juggles where we get to in that twist quite beautifully.
Yeah.
You get used to all these different perspectives. And then once you find out what you find out, you're like, wow, that's even better.
Yeah. It works so well. Okay. So that was your 4?
Correct.
Oh, so then my 4 is Goodfellas.
That's a punt.
Oh, damn. All right. What's your 3?
My 3 is A Christmas Story.
Yeah, that's a tough cut. I wanted to include it, but then at the end, I was like, it's either Assassination or Christmas Story. Because like you, there's no way that belongs in the bottom half of the top 10. So.
The very first thing I think of is the voiceover.
Yeah, you're right. I won't.
So that's why I was like, well, it's making my list because on this because we didn't want to do March of the Penguins,
Yeah.
It wasn't about the narrator. It was about how narration really helps move the story along. And in that one, when he gets his BB gun and he's out and the heightened tension of the, and then here's whatever, I can't remember the criminal's name, whatnot. It sells the story throughout.
Oh yeah.
It gives it kind of stakes when there aren't any.
Mm-hmm.
And it also, the inner peril that he feels, like when Santa pushes him right before Santa pushes him down the sled and the look of horror on his face, but his internal monologue of, I need to tell Santa. If I don't tell Santa, I have to have this. It just fits so beautifully for the character. Just this inner child of all the angsty, feelings that you have.
You're 1,000% right, man. That's why it was the hardest cut of all the cuts I made. It was the hardest cut because the narrator helps you live the movie. He isn't just telling you what's happening. Mm-hmm. He's literally the inner voice of the young Ralphie as he's experiencing all the things that he's experiencing. The old man, he gets all excited in certain moments. Oh, Ovaltine, I'm gonna drink your all of that. He does a great job with the emotions and then with the kind of straight delivery in certain sequences that he's describing. It's fantastic. Yeah.
It's weird to think that Nicholson was first choice for the dad.
Oh, I didn't know that. Jesus.
Yeah. Or at least that was their dream cast or something along those lines, but I'm pretty sure they offered it to him.
I feel like that wouldn't have worked, man.
I don't know. The dad's part isn't huge.
Right. True.
But Jack, I don't
know
if Jack has that. It is that lovable curmudgeon.
Yeah. You have to care for him. so that when the things are happening, you're on board with him. Yeah. Oof. I didn't even think about that. So yeah.
All right, so that was my number 3. What do you got?
My
We did
3.
your 3.
Yeah, my 3 was Fight Club. So yeah, what's your 2?
My deuce is Shawshank.
That's my 1.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So what do you have? Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know what you have.
Yep.
Okay.
You better know what I have. Yeah. Shawshank.
Didn't even make my side list, motherfucker.
I know, that's a shame. That's a fucking shame.
It's really not.
Oh my God.
Really not.
You're an insane person.
Is that film, does it deserve like a lot of that? It was the first to do this and that and whatever else? Sure.
Well, let's get into Shawshank first.
Let's get into Shawshank first.
I don't know. What more can we say, man? We've talked about Shawshank.
Look, you know Shawshank. it's Shawshank. Say Wataneo.
Say Wataneo.
There's a tree, man. Find that fucking tree, bro.
By the obsidian glass, man. The obsidian glass rock, man. Yeah,
and it's another one where it's kind of like Robert the Bruce.
Yeah.
Tim Robbins is the focus of, but we get it from the perspective of Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
I think it works much better for. And I'm glad that it was, Morgan Freeman, for that voice for the narration, but then it's just such a great compliment as almost this paternal kind of figure for Tim Robbins.
I mean, from the beginning, we are treated to the journey of Tim Robbins through Morgan Freeman's eyes. Right? Mm-hmm. At no point does Andy Dufresne do the narration. So this is all through Morgan Freeman's telling of the story and his interpretation and his point of view as read. You know, when I first laid eyes on Andy, I didn't think he was going to make it through the night. He cost me, blah, blah, blah. And then later on, having the comment, when I heard that woman's music,
I have no idea what that woman was singing.
Yeah.
But watch it, all of them staring up at the speaker, having stopped working.
Exactly.
And just taken out of their doldrums.
And then, like you said, then later on when he's talking about, most of all, I just miss my friend. And so all of that, and how he brings it to life and how he describes it. And he says, some birds aren't meant to be caged. So there's just such great dialogue for him to lay out in narration in that movie. And it just is so essential. I think without it, the movie isn't as good as you want it to be. Morgan Freeman takes you on the journey. You're safe in his voice. And you're right. There's a paternal instinct to it all. And he gets his little shots in. I like to think the last thing that ran through the Morden's head, other than that bullet, was, it's so great. Other than that bullet, was how Andy Dufresne got the best of him. There's so much here to savor and enjoy, dude. So, yeah.
It was a no-brainer. My 1-2, I was like, this is what I'm doing.
Totally. All right. So
what, your deuce?
My 2 is Apocalypse Now.
Oh, never mind. I was thinking it was going to be something else.
Okay. Yeah. Martin Sheen narrates the whole fucking movie.
He does.
His narration is so good.
I believe technically a chunk of it might be his brother.
Really? What? I've never heard that.
I believe so.
Shut the fuck up. What?
Here, I'll look it up.
Are you looking at? Look it up, please, as I talk about it. But yeah, how many narrations get included on the soundtrack of the movie? The soundtrack of the movie, which is a double CD set, for those of us who still collect physical media, he is the voiceover tracks through most of that soundtrack. So that tells you how important his voiceover was. And again, yet another movie where his voiceover is in essence occurring at the same time as the movie is happening and also occurring above the movie. It is brilliant. And if you've ever read Heart of Darkness, it's told from a first-person point of view. So having him narrate this, even though he's not Kurtz, having him narrate this as it goes along is just fantastic. And again, he has great lines to deliver. When he's looking through the dossier of Colonel Kurtz and what he discovers about it, what he sees, and his own reactions in the narration as he's reading stuff. So in essence, he's like doing both, telling the overall story at the same time as he's also telling you his thoughts as they're occurring to him in real time as you're watching things in the movie. So just a brilliant performance from Martin Sheen. Hell, you could have nominated him as best actor for being what he did in the film, and also his narration separately as a separate performance, in my opinion. So.
Well, you'd be giving the Oscar to his brother.
It is? Really?
His
Talk to
brother,
me.
because he was recuperating from that heart attack.
You're right.
So he does a big chunk of the narration overall in the film.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's a YouTube clip of him talking about it.
Yeah.
But then I found it corroborated or confirmed on various other websites, just basically saying he filled in for his brother while he was, recuperating.
What an insane situation if they had nominated them both for separate act. I mean, to have two brothers win for this playing the same character in the same movie would have been incredible, man. You could not have topped that. Wow.
Well, especially like if you go and look at Joe Estevez's IMDb
Yeah, I can't imagine there's
versus Martin Sheen. It's a weird. The guy works like crazy. I will say that.
Fair enough.
I think he has like legitimately 6 or 7 projects coming out this year.
Wow. Is that Martin or Joseph?
No,
Joe.
Joe
Okay.
Estevez.
Joe Estevez. Okay. Right.
So he's got this year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, wow.
In 2020, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Huh.
In
Okay.
2019, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, light year, huh, Joe?
Well, took it easy, did you?
Yeah. I mean, there a whole bunch of movies, and who knows how big the part is.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of movies that I haven't heard of.
Wow.
But still working like crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Okay. Where are we at?
So my one
next?
is Goodfellas.
All right, go ahead, my man.
It's literally like all I ever wanted to be was a gangster. I go from rags to riches, but I think of the voiceover
Yeah.
that sets the stage for me for that film. It's one of my favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
But his voiceover, just kind of the awe of the early on and then the callous nature of it later on after he has just been worn over
Mm-hmm.
over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what movie Leota turned down to do Goodfellas.
Oh, that's a great question.
It's another big movie, but then he was like, I want to work with Scorsese and this could be. But the other one was like, it's going to be a huge hit. This is going to vault you to A-list. And he's like, this is Scorsese. I want to do, this. And I think ultimately the other film did not do well. So it would have, or didn't do as well as anticipated, which means it didn't do well as far as Hollywood is concerned.
Wow.
Fuck, what was it?
I don't know.
Why do I remember all that about it? And I can't remember the damn movie itself.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't see anything. I just typed that into the search. Oh, Batman.
Maybe it was Harvey Dent.
Yeah, it might have been that. Wow. He looked. Oh, wow. When I did my first movie, Tim Burton was getting ready to do Batman. He was interested in me because he wanted it to be edgy and real. So he wanted him for Batman. Woo!
Yeah, that would have been a bad casting.
He said, I thought Batman, that's a stupid idea, even though he had just done one of my favorite movies of all time, Beetlejuice. So yes, I regret not auditioning for that. That movie and the success of Jack Nicholson, my career could have taken off in a different kind of way. So maybe he was there. Oh, no, I guess. Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know. It was something different I read, and
Okay.
now I can't remember which movie it was from.
Okay.
Still, I mean, he's now had a career of playing this character in essence.
Yeah.
And whether or not that's what he wanted, it's still, you're consistently working. I mean, you're just in the Mini Saints of Newark.
Yeah.
Perhaps you don't always want to play this type of individual, but when you, I guess Narc is similar, but not, but similar.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's what, Old Dogs? What was that stupid comedy one we did?
Was it Old Dogs? I don't know.
Well, it was like a
Done
bunch
some
of
bad ones. Was that the one with him and Tim Allen and
Travolta.
Travolta? Is that
They
him
were
in that
like
film?
weekend warrior Harley riders or something, and he was like the real deal. I never saw the movie.
He shows up in the weirdest. He was in Hubie Hollywood Halloween. He shows up in the weirdest fucking movies, man.
Well, I think the weirdest movies are like his comedy choices.
Yeah, fair.
This is like the comedy movies ends up and always seem to be terrible.
What was the film you mentioned? I forget.
Old Dogs?
Old Dogs. Is he in that? I'm not.
Or wasn't it something dogs?
2000s.
Something
You're probably right. I'm just Wild Hogs. That's
Wild
it.
Hogs. That's what, not dogs.
That's
Hogs. Damn it. Wild
Right.
Hogs.
Him and Tim Allen and Martin Lawrence and William H. Macy.
Yeah, it's we're really good cast. And you're like, this movie. I never saw it. But I know. Let's put it this way. Like, I know some people that were in it.
Yeah.
And their reaction when people would come up and be like, I saw Wild Hogs. And they'd be like, hey.
Yeah, let's not bring that
And they
up.
had the nothing part, but they were like, hey.
The Sklar brothers are in this movie.
Sklar brothers are in it.
That's funny. Oh my God, Jill Hennessy, MC Gainey, Marissa Tomei. I've never seen this one. I've never seen
Me
this
either. I remember the trailer. I could tell you the trailer.
one. Yeah.
What was the one with Travolta then?
Travolta's in this one too.
Okay,
yeah.
that's what I thought. You didn't say his name on the top of the line.
Sorry. Yeah, it's Tim
So I was
Allen,
like,
Travolta, Martin Lawrence, and William H.
What was the
Macy.
Travolta motorcycle movie then? Because I thought he was in this.
John C. McGinley's in this. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
great cast.
Kyle Gass, Peter Fonda.
I didn't know
Wow.
Peter Fonda was in that. Is that one of his last movies? That's sad.
Maybe. He plays Damian Blade. What a name. Why wouldn't you have Peter Fonda, I guess?
Yeah,
no,
why not? Why
yeah.
not?
Yeah, no. This is early 2000s, so no, this was not his last movie in any way, shape, or form.
That's true. Boy,
I forget he's in 310 to you. I always forget that he's in 310 to you.
yeah, the original.
Yeah.
He's in the remake too.
A remake, right? Yeah. In the original. Yeah, he's a young part in the original. Oh, craziness. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's great narration from Ray Liotta. It's still classic, still so totally works. And again, yet another film that without the narration, I don't think the film is as good. And Scorsese, he's a great fucking filmmaker, but you kind of shoot the film so you understand the narration is an essential part, another element that elevates the film into unique stratosphere itself as a gangster film, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, when narration is bad, it's because the film is incomplete. So we have to go in and post and try to fix this by describing why these two scenes are stitched together.
Yeah.
You could also told me like Wolf of Wall Street, but I figured only one per director.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Certainly, it's good. I'll take Liotta over what DiCaprio does in that film for voiceover.
Yeah, just between the two movies, I love Wolf of Wall Street. I thought it was good at the time, and now because of rewatches, it's just gotten better and better and better for me.
Yeah, a lot of Scorsese's films are like that. They get better as you rewatch them. There's more to cheer. Like Casino, fucking hell, man, Casino. I hated that movie the first time, and then
I still don't think it'll ever reach the threshold though that like Wolf and Goodfellas have.
No, I agree with you. I don't think so either.
Yeah, and I don't think Irishman is ever going to touch that.
That's on you, bud.
I don't.
I love Irishman. I love it.
I love Pesci in it.
I just love their interaction. Yeah, I get it. The grocer scene is terrible. My God, it's fucking terrible. But the chemistry between Pacino and De Niro is incredible in the movie.
Sure.
It's not heat, but these are two older men. But it still works as two older actors really having a great connection with each other. Kind of like when you're watching Brad Pitt and DiCaprio in Hollywood, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like, De Niro takes the submissive role a little bit, lets Pacino be the dominant, but it's because he loses nothing being the submissive in that relationship. And the same thing with Brad Pitt. He takes a little bit of the submissive as DiCaprio's the dominant, but it's because DiCaprio is the one who's constantly worried about his career, just like Pacino as what's his face is always Hoffa is worried about his status in the thing. So it works, right? To have them be the more solid of the two, even though they're just submissive to the more bombastic in that partnership. So it works so well. And then the chemistry with him and Pesci. Jesus, Pesci is never more chilling than he is in this movie, man. It's the quietness.
I don't know. Just I don't want to work and then to come back and just crush it like this, and goes back to I don't want to work. Be like,
It's incredible.
all right, man. To each their own.
Hey, if you've invested wisely, you do you, my man.
Yeah,
You do you.
exactly. If you're content and you don't feel the need to,
Yeah.
nothing speaks to you. You don't want to do 9 heads in a duffel bag. I get it.
The sequel.
Exactly. Well, you got to up the stakes. Unless you want to say it's 16 heads and we double the stakes.
Not 6 minute ads, 7 minute ads.
7 minute. What? That's crazy talk. It's like the old saying, what was that? 6 squirrels sitting on a limb or whatever the fuck he says.
Yeah, good point. Good point. All right. Well,
all right, there we go.
That's our overall list of the top 10 best films that use narration. And now we're going to compile these things and have a battle over this. But hopefully we'll resolve this a little quicker than we did last week. What do we, where do you want to go?
I would say
is Shawshank 1?
Shawshank, yeah, it's probably 1.
Okay.
And I'd say Goodfellas probably 2.
Yeah, agree with that. And then what, like Fight Club 3?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. And then
Arizona we have is like a 5.7. Assassination is a 5.8, I believe.
Okay. All right. So then the 5.7 would beat the 5.8, right?
All right. So Arizona.
And we have Kiss Kiss Bang Bang together.
That is what, 8, 9?
Yeah. Do you want to elevate it or do you want to wait?
I'd say we wait. That's 1 through 5 done.
Sounds good.
So you have Apocalypse Now where? 2?
2. Mm-hmm.
All right. The Apocalypse Now, and then I have A Christmas Story at 3.
Okay. That's yours.
Okay, so we have 8, 9, and 10 left. Do you want to do Kiss Kiss Bang Bang here?
Yeah, sure. I'm cool with putting it there at 8.
Okay. So we don't have any other commonality, correct?
So just to clarify, Shawshank's on, Apocalypse Now is on, Fight Club is on, Goodfellas is on, Assassination is on, and then Raising Arizona, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang are on, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then my next highest is The Princess Bride, which is 6.
And I have Amadeus at 6.
Oh, I will defer to Amadeus. There's no even need for a flip, dude.
So then we're done. That was easy.
Oh, nice. I like it. All right. The top 10 films that use narration. Yeah. At number 10,
The Princess Bride.
At number 9,
Amadeus.
At number 8,
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
At number 7,
A Christmas Story.
At number 6,
Apocalypse Now.
At number 5,
The Assassination of Jesse James.
At number 4,
Raising Arizona.
At number 3,
Fight Club.
At number 2,
Goodfellas.
and our number 1 film that uses narration is
The Shawshank Redemption.
Andy Dufresne.
There it is. We hope you guys enjoyed that show today. So next week will be our first live show of the month. So please join us. We'll do it Thursday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
And you get an email if you're a patron. So be on the lookout for the email. We'd love to have you next Thursday. And then the other one we're going to do looks like on Black Friday because it would land on Thanksgiving itself. And you and I both have Thanksgiving plans. So
yes, we do.
Tentatively, we're looking to do it on that Friday. We'll let you know about the time. Might be a little bit earlier, might be a little bit later. Who knows? But in the same ballpark-ish.
Yeah. Come and hang out with us. And for those of you $10 and above, you get to hang out and see it live and listen to it live. It's a good thing to do post Thanksgiving when you're lying on the couch, just relax with us.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully more you will join us because you might have that Friday off from work so you can hang out with us in the afternoon and have some fun. And I do want to say one last thing. I want to encourage you all in the Patreon to kind of tell other people about joining the Patreon. If you have fans of the Top 10 show, tell them to join the Patreon. If you want to up your Patreon, we'd love you to consider that as an option as well. And maybe even if you're considering upping it, letting us know what you'd like to see from us, what you think would help us expand the Patreon, make it more tempting for you to jump up to the next level in the Patreon. And if you think we should add higher tiers, we've talked about $100 tier or $500 tier. What would you want to get from those tiers? Email us and let us know. What is it? Top 10 podcast at gmail.com.
Yep. All spelled out.
All spelled out, and we'll get the information from you. And some of you have even reached out and asked about sending us a one-time donation because you don't want to be necessarily part of the Patreon consistently, but you want to send us a thank you for all the years of content we've delivered, and certainly during COVID, how we've been here every week with 2 to 3 shows helping you through those times. So Matt, you mentioned, where could they send a donation like that? What's the PayPal they could do that at?
It's attached to the same email address. So it's top10podcast at gmail.com.
There you go.
We're not out technically soliciting right now. We just had people reach out and say, specifically, I don't want to be part of the Patreon, or I already am, but I'd like to donate more. And if you do, God bless you, so be it.
Yeah.
So you can do it on PayPal. If it's confusing or whatnot, just email us at top10podcast at gmail, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah, we'll send you a link. Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. If you are genuinely want to look into that or do that on your own, we would appreciate it. That's for damn sure.
Absolutely. And when you're looking at it, if you go searching on your own on the PayPal, look for the logo. The logo should be on there. You know our logo by now, so don't just donate to any Top 10 podcast. Donate to ours if you're doing that. And some of you on the Patreon want to donate more, and there's not an installment for you to be able to donate more. Well, here's the way that you can. Just kind of do that on PayPal and, kind of send us what you'd like to send us. So, yeah. And as Matt said, we're not soliciting. 5 separate people reached out to me in the last 3 weeks asking to send a separate amount that isn't Patreon related to us to thank us for the work we've done. So there we go. And, keep sharing this thing, keep promoting it. We want to keep building the audience here for sure. It's gone down a little bit because of COVID and everything. So let's bounce back quickly and bring more people back into the fold here from the top 10.
Yeah, guys, these rookie numbers. We got to pump these numbers up.
Absolutely.
What else? Hopefully you're staying safe out there, and all is right in your world. And our thanks to everybody that supports us, listens to the show each week, or tells a friend. We thank all of you for whatever way that you can help. And you can follow the show on Twitter. Check us out over there at Top 10 Show, all spelled out. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, on Instagram and YouTube, it is /the Top 10 podcast with the number 10, or Top 10 podcast rather. Apologize. So hit us up, and you can follow me at Matt Nost on Instagram and Twitter, and check out Settle the Score and Dropping Dimes. And that is it for me this week.
There you go. And you can follow me at The Roca Says on Twitter and on Instagram, and head on over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/John Roca Says. We just crossed 19,000 subscribers. Come and subscribe and hang out with us, and let's get to 20,000 subscribers, a nice magical number. And my other podcasts as well, the Cinephiles and the Geek Buddies, out there for you all to enjoy and have some fun with for sure. And if you want to hang out with me on Twitch, The Outlaw Nation, all one word there on Twitch, for all I'm doing there. All right. Well, that's it from both of us. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of the Top 10 Show.